Hey everyone! So as you can see, we are not in that same portion of Torghast. We are now in the other wing for this week. I only did Lair 1 just to get the final amount I needed for the quest. So I was able to pull it off, like the next attempt after I cut off the camera. Took some kiting and such. There was a stacking mechanic. I had to kind of use other interrupts in order to kind of delay it, in order to buy myself some time to eventually kill him. And I was able to pull it off. Plus, it dropped the other legendary power from that particular wing, so I have two of them now. I went and turned that quest in to Bolvar. He was like, alright, nice job. Come back next week and I'll have something else for you, basically. So I just finished the other one, only Lair 1, because it got me 120, which is all I need to turn in this quest right here. Because I want us to see how it goes. By the way, here, Trollbane's here. Yeah. I'm sorry, this is like my favorite of the Death Knight Torghast abilities. Just having one of the horsemen at my side here as I go through Torghast. So now that we have enough, let's go see the Rune Carver. Let's go see what happens when we turn this in.
This place holds countless legends.
Yes, this should be enough to engrave the runes. On lesser equipment, that is. Potent items will require more soul ash. Yes, soul ash. And you should hold on to it. I will ask for it when the time comes.
We walk among the fragments of
The final components you'll need to acquire are vessels, rune vessels, armor to hold the might that will be imbued, and powers? No, missives. Yes. Missives will allow your item to enhance your own personal strengths, but they cannot be the same. No, the two must offer different benefits. All of these can be obtained from souls with the correct crafting knowledge. And lastly, more of my memories. Memories of the runes, of the powers, of myself.
Acquire a Rune Carver memory, an armor rune vessel suitable to your class, and 2 different missives. These items can be obtained through crafting or can be found on the auction house.
You have the bearing of one familiar with the art of smithing, but perhaps you have more to learn. Vessels that hold the power of the runes can be crafted by a hand such as yours, but this I cannot teach you. There is a way. I will entrust you with a memory of my recipes for the vessels. Take it to a master of your craft, and they will show you the way. What's that? Oh, do not worry. It is merely an echo of my memory. What you restored to me remains intact.
Shadowghast armor recipes. So that's acknowledging
Jailer's eye.
that on this character, I have blacksmithing learned. I went to the trainers here in Oribos and found the ones that just gave me level 1 of Shadowlands of basically each thing. Except I can't find the archaeology person, but whatever. But yeah. Also, some of the missives, I believe, are done through enchanting. Now, I, of course, don't have enchanting on this guy. However, I am aware about... Well, rather, I know someone who has been working on her enchanting. So I may end up asking her how she is doing on that, working on that. Now, she's mainly been working on her Alliance character, but she is the GM of our guild. And one of her main characters here in our Horde guild, she's been working on her inscription for that character. I know this because she went out of her way to learn some other inscription recipes to get us glyphs for our druids. So I'll have to bring that up with her. So let's see.
The darkness.
Alright. A rune vessel and different missives. So we have to go to this guy to turn that in. So it looks like until we get these other pieces here, we won't be able to actually, like, access the different things here yet. Because I have 2 of the memories here, but I'm going to have to see what I can do about some of these. Now, if I just look at, say, blacksmithing, and I see some of these Shadowlands plans here, like right now, there's just some of these ceremonious pieces, which I guess making these would actually give skill ups. But these are not necessarily the things that you need for this. So what I'm concerned about, of course, is that some of these things are going to end up being quite expensive, especially if you go down the route of the auction house. Now, this, of course, may depend on your server, but let's just say that this is the kind of thing where when people know it's in high demand and, you know, you sell it on the auction house, they'll usually have very high and outrageous prices. By the way, that layer 1 of that wing of the Maw, that was a breeze. That was a breeze compared to the first wing. But of course, I was doing that just to complete the quest. I'll do wing 3 later on my own. Though I think I should probably do some other stuff before that, like perhaps get into some dungeons and such. I'm so close. I'm at 154.93. Once I get to 155, I can actually queue up for the heroic dungeons. So I'm pretty sure that one of the ways I can be able to try and get some other gear and such to be able to handle those layers and such better will be to actually go just do some dungeons in order to almost guarantee some better gear pieces. Now, of course, this can be the same thing for the other trainers for, you know, tailors for cloth armor, if you're playing a cloth class, or if you're playing a leather or mail class, the leatherworking.
I live to serve. More.
Oh, so that's Rose Boyle. Huh. A memory? Fascinating. With this knowledge, I can teach you to craft armors capable of holding immense power. And for a price, of course.
Always a pleasure.
Okay. Skeleton keys. Uh-huh. Shadow Ghast. Ah, here are the things that you need. Yeah. An exceptionally well-crafted piece of armor worthy of being empowered by the Rune Carver. You need to work on getting your Shadowlands blacksmithing up to 100. And then you can be able to actually make these with Shadow Ghast ingots, enchanted lithium bars, luminous flux, and arboreal shards. This is where it feels like the idea of professions in this expansion is going to really get important. Like, people are going to seek out, you know, some of these professions, especially people who really work on those, to really help them out with getting pieces they need to make some of their legendaries. Now, these are only 175, I think.
This realm offers infinite.
People are already working on higher ones, and of course, some of them might be a little cheaper, but some of them may be also much more expensive than they need to be. What do you guys say we head on over to Orgrimmar and just take a glance at what some of these things would actually be on the auction house at this time? I like how even the quest is, saying that some of these can be found on the auction house. Look at that. You can still use your Covenant abilities while you're here on Azeroth. So it's not restricted to Shadowlands.
I ain't got it. You don't want it.
Alright, so let's see. Alright. So you can see some of the pieces here. So people are selling them for like 10,000 gold. Now they're selling some of the ingots. But if you're wanting to just get like a piece, like for each piece of armor or whatever, you're gonna need looks like at least 10,000 right now. At least this is how it is on my server. So now that's just for like 190. So you saw that I think I was able to make 175 if I had the resources to make it. There are others that are able to actually make higher pieces like 210 or 225. If you're wanting some higher item level stuff right now, for that, you're going to need a lot more gold. So, but if you're not really all that desperate for something like that, and, like I have, like on this character I have over 200,000, so I could afford, if I want to, like one of each of these 4 different pieces here, so... I like that there's even, pieces for like, look at all these other different pieces here. Pauldrons, breastplate, greaves, sabatons. Yeah. Now it's showing that it's only for, my pawn thing, it's actually only showing for blood, but... alright. So, let's see here. What about missives? Aha. Interesting. Okay, so if I want, I could just get a couple of these missives here.
Come back anytime.
Let's just double check.
You don't want it.
When you search the word rune, yeah. Yep.
Hey, that's it! I got mouths to feed, pal!
Wow, these other unlearned pieces here. Specialized armor, the Shadowghast, yep. To make Shadowghast ingots, ore or fluxes or an ore. Bars. Looks like you need a lot of luminous fluxes. And arboreal shards. Well, I was kind of hoping to show, and rather learn it, on my own. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to work on maybe just either acquiring pieces, which you can see they've added this extra thing where you can do optional regions to add an extra secondary stat here or increase item level. I find the professions, I've always found the professions thing interesting. I've just never really been able to really delve into it or get into it or spend time on it. Plus, I never really had anyone really help walk me through, the best way to go about it, the most efficient way to do it, or, just like what they recommend, or if sticking to one and then switching to another is a very common thing or not the wise thing. Just, there was always stuff that was never told to me about any of this, So I don't know. I'm not sure if how I'm going to be able to go about this, or or how much gold this is going to cost me. So that's something I'm going to have to figure out, if I want to spend the gold to get the resources, or actually go out and try to find these resources, which it looks like some of them you just got to, either make them or actually go out. And this is where mining goes hand in hand with blacksmithing, because you can go out and find sources for the ores, which go hand in hand with crafting some of these things in blacksmithing. So, yeah. So, yeah, this is where it's like, okay, this is more so some of the, we're getting back to that portion where I'm going to be doing more off-camera stuff, and this is where it's like, okay, gotta wait till next week, do some of these other things, do some dungeons and such, or, work on leveling alts, So, this will give me other... this is where I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? It's not a matter of what do I do in terms of like, oh man, what is there to do? Because I know what to do. It's a matter of how I want to go about it. But I'm fine with that. Huh. Well, I'll figure this out, because it's clear that this is going to involve getting some stuff. This may, end up costing some gold, even though I'm probably not going to want to go ahead and do it yet, because really it's going to be, while you may get the right piece you want or the right missives, then it comes down to, well, which powers do you want to use? Like, this might be great for if I tank as blood, to be able to help out my party. And this could be good for unholy. Huh. But there are some other pieces that you guys have been seeing. I've been, playing Frost, so I wouldn't mind getting this here, Like, there are some other dungeons and such, which, I don't know, maybe I have to play either on Heroic or Mythic in order to get those pieces to drop. I don't know what the drop rate is for the ones in the dungeons, because they've dropped easily in the Torghast runs. Like, just on the first attempt, all I had to do was kill the boss and on layer 3, and it dropped. So either I'm having insane luck, or it's a guaranteed drop the first time you do at least a layer 3 in Torghast. I don't know. So I will do some investigating on this and let you know what's going on when we return. Stay tuned.